Students, we are continuing our first chapter only. In last part we have started with land, third important natural resource. We have seen its importance. We have seen some mixture we have taken in the bottle. We have seen which are the layers formed. Now children, we are just going to see the same layers found in the land after the land is dug. So see here children, can you see this diagram? Layers of land. See here children, let me tell you all. The first layer is humus. What is humus children? If the land has matured soil, the topmost layer is formed by the decomposition of remains of plants and animals. This top layer is humus children. This is formed by the decomposition of remains of plants and animals. When plants leaves falls down, and animals they die. After they die, the decomposition takes place and a layer is formed. That layer is called as a humus. This is the top layer children. It is called as a humus. It is a mature soil. Mature means it is fertile. Now children, let's move further. This humus you will find out in the dense forest. Where it is found out? It is in the dense forest. The land below this is full of sand. Now children, you will see the below as you go. The first layer is of humus, which is a fertile soil. As you go down and down, you will see that the land below this is full of sand, soil, small stones, worms and insects. Soil and pieces of bedrock are found below this layer of land. Layer of soil and rocks, bedrock, these different are the layers which are formed in after the ground is dug, land is dug. Then children, this soil is immature. The soil which is below the humus, this soil is immature. Immature means it is not as fertile. In this humus, on humus which soil is found, it is very fertile. Why? Because children, it is formed by the decomposition of plants and animals. Now children, further it is immature soil. Now as you go further below, what you will find, layers of soil and some small rocks are found here. Small rocks. This is the further below, this is the layer of proportion of soil decreases and rock increases. Now children, as you go down and down, soil becomes less and rocks proportion increases. Rocks increases. Okay children. Now as you will see further, this soil is immature. The further below this, the layer, the proportion of soil decreases and the rock increases. This layer is a bedrock. The last layer is of bedrock. The main minerals in the soil are derived from these rocks. The minerals which we are getting after doing mining, we are getting from these bedrocks. That is why soil in different regions is different. Children, why the soil is different in different regions? Because it depends on the bedrock. Now see here children, can you see the color of the last layer? Bedrock is grey. So definitely that soil's color will be of that region will be of grey. It differs from region to region. Somewhere you will see that the bedrock's color is brown, so there will be the soil color will be definitely brown. Somewhere you will find out the bedrock is completely black in color. So after weathering, what happens, the bedrock is, if it is in black color, the soil will be black. If it is in brown, you will get the brown color. So that is why soil in different regions is different. The color and texture of soil both are determined by the bedrock. So color also depends, and texture means the soil is thick or thin. It both depends on the bedrock. So these are the different layers: humus, soil, immature soil, layers of soil and small rocks, bedrock. Children, very important, humus. Humus is a fertile soil which is formed by the decomposition of plants and animals. Then after that, second layer is sand, soil. After that you will find out rocks, and lastly you will find out the bedrocks. Children, let's move further. Process of soil formation. The soil on the land is formed by a natural process. Now children, we are going to learn about how the soil is formed. Children, the soil is a soil formation. Soil is formed by a natural process. The abiotic components of soil are supplied through weathering of rock. Weathering means what children? Breaking of the rocks. Okay. How the rocks breaks, this bedrock we have seen in the last layers of land, bedrock. How these rocks break, how it weathers. It breaks down due to these things: heat, cold and water, due to the sun's heat, wind and rain. These are responsible for weathering. Due to the heat, due to the cold, due to the heat of the sun, extreme high temperature, winds, rains, they are responsible for breakdown of rocks. And after the rocks break down into pieces, what are formed from that? Stones, sand and soil are formed from these pieces. So as these big rocks are broke down due to the weathering, we get stones, soil. Now children, further we'll see microbes, worms and insects are found among them. In bedrocks you will find out microbes, worms and insects. Rodents like mice and rats are also found here. Mice and rat are called rodents. You all know they live inside the ground. They make a hole. Snakes, mice and rats, snakes, they make a hole and they live inside the ground. The roots of trees growing on land also helps in weathering of rock. Children, the roots, you all know that roots of trees are very deep inside the ground. So due to these roots also, sometimes as the branches of the roots spread, what happens, due to that also the rocks can break, and due to that also the rock breaks, then you can get the soil. So process of soil formation is slow and continuous. Very important children, the soil formation is very slow and continuous. It takes about 2.5 centimeter layer to form thousand years. 1,000 years it takes to form only 2.5 centimeter layer of soil. Very important. So only 2.7 centimeter layer to form, it takes 1,000 years. So you can imagine it is a very long process. The weathering means breaking of the rock. It breaks due to the heat, cold and water, due to the heat of the sun, wind and rain. These are the factors due to which the rock breaks. After breaking, it gets converted into small stones, sand and soil. Even roots of trees are responsible for breaking of the rocks, and this process is very slow and continuous. It goes on, and for forming very small 2.5 centimeter layer of soil also, it takes 1,000 years. You can get this in filling the blanks. How much years it takes to form 2.5 centimeter layer of soil? So you have to write 1,000 years. Now children, let's move further. Soil is formed children, but this soil is getting destroyed by what all things? It gets destroyed due to the floods, storms and human activities such as mining. You all know mining, people are digging the earth very deep for getting out the minerals. So due to that also, what happens, the soil gets transferred from one place to another. Due to the floods, due to the water, what happens, the soil gets transported. Storms, winds, due to that winds also, the soil blows from one place to another. That is why it is necessary to conserve soil. So soil, it is very necessary for you have to take some steps to protect the soil and prevent its erosion. So what you can do for stopping this erosion of soil? The best remedy for this is to increase the green cover of the land. Green cover of the land means what children? You have to plant the trees. Green cover means what you can do to stop the erosion of the soil is you can plant trees. Yes or no? Trees you can plant. So erosion of land can be reduced if grass, trees and bushes are grown on it. Now children, you have to obtain some specimens. This is activity, so I'm not just reading it. Obtain the specimens of soil from various places in your surroundings. You have to go to your different places for collecting these soils. Some samples you have to collect of your own yard. If you have a garden, you can collect it from it. Some sample of soil. Hills, go to hills, collect the sample of soil from there. River banks you go, fields you go, some rocky ground, some ground you play. There you can, from there you can collect the soils and note the differences. You have to note the difference in the soil, what color it is and all. You have to feel the texture. You have to see the size of particles, okay, and so on. So this is an activity. Now children, further, do you know, just we'll go through that. Humus is a layer formed on soil due to the decomposition of dead plants and animals. Children, we have seen that humus is the layer. It is formed due to the decomposition of plants and animals by microbes. Humus supplies nutrients to the soil. What is the work of humus? It supplies nutrition to the soil. Humus is also important for aerating the soil. Soil gets air due to the humus, and it is important for holding water also. It helps in holding water in the soil. Humus is doing two works. It gives air to the soil and it holds water. The proportion of humus in the upper layer of good fertile soil is about 33% to 50%. Just remember this. How much is the proportion of good fertile soil? Humus in good fertile soil is 33 to 50%. What is humus? You already studied. It is the layer of soil formed due to the decomposition of dead plants and animals. Now children, let's move further. Forest on land got buried underground due to the great upheavals that took place on the earth many ages ago. Many years ago, what happened, children? Due to the disruption on the earth, what happened? Some forest and some animals got buried inside our ground. So after that, what happened? The process of formation of fossil fuels from the remains of living things took place underground. So from the this forest and some animals, plants which got buried, from that fossil fuels were formed. And from fossil fuels, what are things we all get, children? These are the things we get from it. We get fuels like petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin, and other useful materials like tar, wax from the fossil fuel called crude oil. So just remember it, what things you get it from, and these things which are formed inside the ground. Fossil fuels which were formed, how they were formed? Due to the forest, and the forest got buried, some animals got buried, some plants got buried due to the disruption caused on the earth. So after many years ago this happened, and from that fossil fuels were formed, and from fossil fuels we get all these things: petrol, diesel, kerosene, paraffin, some useful materials like tar, wax from the fossil fuels. So children, let's move further. The last part of our chapter. Living things use land, water and air available on earth, and so man does. Yes or no, children? Living things use all these things, all natural resources. However, the portion of these resources that are actually put to use are very small. Children, they are very small. We have seen its percentage. Land is only 29%. We have seen. Potable water, fresh water, we have seen it is only 0.3%. Oxygen is 21%. For though it is very less percentage, but it is sufficient for all the living things on the earth. Even in these small proportions, the resources shown in the above table are sufficient for all living things. Only it is very necessary for man to control his greed. Man should not be greedy. He should use these resources wisely. Judiciously means what? Properly, wisely. Then only these resources will be enough for all the living things on the earth. So these things we should remind it. Land, water and air are our natural resources. We should use it properly, judiciously, then only they will be available for everybody on the earth. That's all. This chapter ends here. At last, there is some important point what we have learned. You have to read these points. These are the important points from a full lesson. So our first chapter ended. These are the question answers. This questions, question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I will be uploading in my next part. Till then, goodbye.